Hello everyone and welcome to a fiveaside.com review. Now I'm holding a pair of shin pads because today we're going to be reviewing a new product. Now I know there's a lot of people out there wearing regular shin pads like this and not really enjoying them. Now I'm lucky, I have a pair of shin pads which are these ones here that I've used now from between about 10 and 15 years, which actually embarrassingly is a lot longer than any relationship I've ever had with any wife or girlfriend. Go me. But I like them because they're bendy, they're very lightweight, and they do have the ankle attachment, which for me is a must in keeping me safe from scrapes. Now recently I've been hearing about a particular brand of shin pads. I've been tweeted it by a follower and I decided to give them a try. So S1 Sport are the makers of these shin pads, and they very kindly sent me a free pair of shin pads in exchange for my honest review. So that's what we'll do now. These shin pads, they look fairly normal from the front. You've got the usual plastic, but it's when you get to the back that things are a little bit different, because as you can see, you have this sleeve or under section which fits under the shin pad against the leg and holds it in place. And the theory is that this will keep the shin pad fixed in place without it sliding about inside your sock, so there's no need for tape. It should also allow the shin pad to be breathable and not fill you with that sweaty feeling that we often get. So that's the S1 shin pad. As you can see, on the undersleeve there's Velcro at the top and the bottom, and that holds it in place. As a little extra bonus, S1 also sent me their Achilles and ankle guard, and as you can see, as it says here, revolutionary ankle and Achilles protection. Branded as AS Roma, I'm not exactly sure why, but got nothing against them. I know not everybody likes wearing these pads, but I like mine, and they've stopped me over the years receiving a lot of kicks, a lot of stud scrapes down the foot. And the ankle pad does attach separately, which again has been done with comfort in mind. So let's try them on. The first time you come to try them on, do make sure that you've got the correct pad for the correct foot. So it says there on the bottom, right, and that's the one I want on my right leg. So tear off the shin pad, put that to the side for a moment and concentrate on fitting the undersleeve to your leg in a comfortable position first. This was my first go. As you can see, after a bit of messing about, I perhaps put it on a little bit too low the first time, but I just moved it upwards and adjusted the Velcro until I was in a comfortable position. And that might take you a few seconds to get that right, but do make sure it is right, because that's where the comfort comes from. After you've done that, then it's time to reach forward, get your shin pad and just stick it using this Velcro pad onto the underlayer. As you can see, it goes on pretty firmly and stays in place. Now just to illustrate how that compares to your bog standard usual shin pad, I decided to put my Orange Classics back on again. So here we go, much easier to put on. You just put one strap of Velcro round, but look at the amount of movement you get from the orange shin pad on the right compared to the S1 system on the left. And this solves a big problem that people complain about, and a big reason why people don't like to wear shin pads. So on we go with the ankle protector. Just make sure that you get it the right way round. The Achilles strip should be at the back, more on that in a second, but just slide that on. You can see it's quite tight on my leg, and it's supposed to be tight because it gives you that compression which adds to the stability around your ankle. So on we go, and as you can see, we've got a complete setup on the leg. So there's your front view, there's your side view, and here's the view from the back. So I'll show you now what it looks like with the sock on, and whilst that's going on, just please remember that if you're going to order a pair of these, you must make sure you get the right size for the thickness and the length of your leg, because the entire system, the underlayer and putting it onto your leg, does depend on you having the right size in the first place. Now you might have noticed that it does take a bit longer to put this shin pad on than it does a normal one, and I've done some sped up video here, but when I timed it from putting on the ankle support to putting on the shin pad and getting the sock and then my boot all the way on, that took me nearly 2.5 minutes. So that's 5 minutes obviously for both legs, and for me that is a minor inconvenience of this product, but you've got to weigh that up against the better comfort and fit you get from it. Now I've stopped the video here because it looks like the sun is shining out of my backside. Right, so having worn these, I wanted to show you one more thing about the ankle protector, because it's made of a neoprene material, so that's the sort of stuff you make wetsuits out of. That does make it protective as well as flexible. You've also got these hard ankle caps sewn in, but it's this thing at the back that I like. It's two strips of slightly thicker neoprene, but they give you this extra protection for your Achilles, which I think is really, really useful if you've ever had an Achilles injury like I have. So it's a big thumbs up for that feature there. So I didn't just test these in a garden looking like a fool, I also went out and played a game in them. And I played a 40-minute indoor game. You can see the feet of my teammate, just to assure you I'm not alone and making this up. And here's the shin pad itself. So here I was showing my teammates the shin pad. They seemed reasonably impressed. And I was just pointing out that I'd had full comfort. I hadn't had the shin pad move around. They weren't sweaty. But I did have one small complaint. And that's to do with the Velcro that is used to strap on this sleeve or underlayer. Because what happens is the rough edge of the Velcro faces out, and that does leave it catching against your sock when you're putting your sock on. It's a really small complaint, not one that I think holds it back too much, but nevertheless an inconvenience. So I guess that means it's time for the overall view. And there's a few things I've learned about these pads. One of them is to never review a black product on a black background. Sorry about that, guys. But there are a lot of things to like about the pads. They're lightweight, they're comfortable, the sleeve is a really good system that also fixes the pad in place well. They're also, in my experience, not quite as sweaty as your usual basic standard pads, and you can also wash that sleeve. I also really like the Achilles and ankle protection. I like the neoprene compression it gives you, and also the smart Achilles protector at the back. On the downside, well, these shin pads do take a bit longer to put on than your standard pads. And also, for me, the Velcro was catching against my sock a little bit. But again, I don't think that's a huge complaint. So overall, these are pretty good pads. They do cost more than the basic shin pads, but really they aren't going to break the bank, so you can afford to try them. And I think they're worth a try, so much so that I'm going to give them a go over my old favourites that I'm going to put into retirement, at least for now. If you'd like to find out more, you can go on to 5aside.com, which has lots more on these pads, as well as lots of other tips, tactics, skills and reviews to help you get the most out of your football games. Hopefully you enjoyed that review. Please like and subscribe for more.